And now for another installment of Not So History, a Lake Avalon Entertainment original serial. The great American pastime was, and arguably remains, the game of baseball. There's nothing like it. Going out to a ballpark on a summer afternoon or evening, chowing on a stadium hot dog and washing it down with a cold beverage, and cheering on your home team. And when they win, and win big, it's just icing on the cake. And throughout the years, the game has produced many thrills and many legends. That's what the walls of Cooperstown's Hall of Fame is all about. Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, Roger Maris, Johnny Bench, Kaline, just to name a few. We are drawn to the game because of players like them. The 1888 poem, Casey at the Bat, penned by Ernest Thayer, sums up the essence of the game and its fan base, and a love affair they have with it. Nothing better expresses the American spirit more than this. Because of that, Thayer's poem is the basis for this particular and very special installment of Not So History, simply called The Mighty Casey.
The outlook wasn't brilliant for Mudville 9 that day. The score stood 4-2, with but one inning more to play. And then when Cooney died at first and Barrow did the same, pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go, in deep despair the rest clung to the hope with springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. But when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flemma hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell, it pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile at Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat, no stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one!" the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand. And it's likely they would have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dumb spheres flew. But Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echo answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let the ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence, his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere. And somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. The mighty Casey has struck out. Well, here I stand next to the mighty Casey, who alas found himself getting struck down with everything, including his integrity, riding on the line. Now, I must ask, I would be without merit if I refrained from doing so. What, Casey? What precisely happened that put you in this lowly state? And how do you ever recover and pick up the bat again? Any thoughts would be greatly appreciated, though I highly doubt any amount of damage control will do you good now.
Well, I don't know what to say. I had my eye on the ball the entire time, and it was coming right at me. And when it got to my swing zone, I let it rip. Unfortunately, Casey, somehow, someway, just missed.
You have just listened to Not So History, a Lake Avalon Entertainment original. Join us again soon for another thrill-packed adventure into the past. Sort of.